only roads could speak, they would whisper tales of resistance and hardship. Having lived in Uganda, we have learnt the art of dodging potholes. Now, imagine driving from Nairobi to Kampala over 646 kilometers. That must have been a long, bumpy, dusty ride. A real test of endurance. 40 years ago, amid the scare of a civil war, a young couple with their family drove into the streets of Kampala. The cause ahead was far greater than their comfort and the people they were yet to meet, more precious to God than gold.
I'll never forget the first day that Gary and I arrived in Uganda. It was almost 42 years ago, November 1983. Airplanes didn't even fly into Uganda back then. We had to arrive in Nairobi and take the treacherous journey all the way from Nairobi to Kampala. And when we crossed the border, I'll never forget that day as long as I live. I remember seeing a people once tall and proud, dressed in rags, hardly any shoes. They'd been reduced to a life of poverty, squalor, and fear. The road from Mbali all the way to Kampala was so full of potholes that we had to drive mostly on the shoulder. It was unbelievable. Gary used to say if you could see the kids swimming in the potholes, then you knew they were too deep to go in. But the thing that I still remember today was the eyes, the look of people's eyes. It was total hopelessness. It was total despair. And I remember feeling, oh, Jesus, these people need you so badly. They need the hope that you're going to bring. As we drove up to our little house, we got out of the car, and when we walked into the yard, the grass was up to my waist, literally up to my waist. And I remember falling to the floor in that house and crying, oh God, I cannot survive in this place without you. But at the same time, I know that you want to do something significant. You want to bring your peace. You want to bring your stability. You want to bring your prosperity. You want to bring your hope to this land. And over the past 41 years, Gary and I have had the privilege, the awesome privilege of seeing not just tens and hundreds of thousands of people transformed, but we have literally seen the nation of Uganda transformed as the hope of Jesus Christ has shone so brightly. And the Uganda that we are celebrating today is not the Uganda that we moved to 41 years ago, but for the grace of God.
When we first drove into Kampala, I remember seeing the green hills of Kampala, but the broken streets of Kampala, and thinking, wow, this place has so much potential. And as I looked at the people, as Marilyn has said, the greatest potential was in the people. And as we drove up to the place that we were going to build our first home in Kansanga, there were clouds, big cumulus clouds in the sky, and a thunderstorm was brewing. And as we pulled into our yard, a huge rainbow appeared as the sun poked through the clouds. And I remember thinking, wow, this is a promise from God, that even though there may be great difficulty all around us, a rainbow is a promise that what is in the past is behind us. There's a promise for a new future. And we could not imagine what was going to happen over the 40 years that we would spend building Kampala Pentecostal Church, now Watoto Church. It's just been an amazing journey of, at the bottom of that rainbow was a pot of gold. And that pot of gold is the next generation of young Ugandan leaders who are in the process of building a new Kampala, a new Uganda, a new Africa. And as we join with forces, churches all around the world, building a new world where Jesus is Lord. Wow, it's been an amazing journey that we're so glad to have been a part of.
Let me tell you something. God has a redemptive plan for mankind, and you and I, his church, are his hands and feet to the broken.